had to put on my thick warm socks last night. It got pretty cold. Definitely the coldest it's been in a while back here. It got down to like 39 degrees, but not a bad view of the mountains out the back door. Right through those trees. I kind of wish these trees almost weren't here so I could have a nice clear view of the mountains, but I'm not complaining. But I have been reading this at night, which is the milepost, and essentially what this is the everything you need to know guide to traveling to Alaska, in Alaska, around Alaska. They have route planning, they have a bunch of different activities you can go do and things you can try out, and it truly just has everything you need in order to drive up to Alaska. So I've been reading this up. I think for my route up there, I'm going to take the east access route, which is this one, up to the Alaskan Highway, which is right here, and then I'm going to take the Alaskan Highway all the way up to Alaska, to Fairbanks, hopefully, weather permitting, up to at least the Arctic Circle and then Prudhoe Bay if I can make it there. But I really don't know because this van truly does not handle well in the mud. And I've learned that the hard way a few times, yesterday almost being one, because driving up to this spot in the mountains, I almost got myself stuck. But I have got the water heater turned on, heating up some hot water because my face feels pretty dry and I want to wash it with some hot water and not the freezing cold water that I know is in that tank because of how cold it was last night. Which is honestly the main thing that I use the hot water for, because I don't really use it for much else other than sometimes when I take hot showers. That'll be nice to be able to wash my face with some warm water. And I think it is still pretty cold out, but not nearly as bad as it was last night. It's definitely starting to warm up. A little bit cloudy, but still a beautiful day out. I also have a mountain of dishes that needs to be cleared out of the sink before I can wash my face. Whew. And that is hot. Oh, it feels so good. Turn that hot water heater off. Now I can wash my face and not be in pain. And one thing I learned about living in a van is if you can't get your full body cleaned off, or you don't feel like cleaning your full body off when you're out in the middle of nowhere, cleaning your face will sometimes do enough to make you feel pretty clean. It's also nice and refreshing to be able to splash hot water on my face when it's this cold out. Ooh. Moisturizer's cold though. I'm also very glad I installed this mirror because I used to go like 2 or 3 days without actually looking in the mirror and seeing what I look like. Second to the rear view mirror and stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to make sure that I don't look like total garbage before I walk out in the morning. All right, so I've got some of my dishes done because I had some hot water left after I washed my face. And even now, I still have some hot water left after doing my dishes. So I think I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I'm gonna take a nice head shower, wash my hair too. There we go. Feels good. So, I think before we head out of here, I'm gonna whip up a quick breakfast because I really don't want those cooked potatoes I made the other day go to waste. So I'm gonna make some home fries and eggs. Look at that. Beautiful looking breakfast. Now all we need is the finishing touch. Some of my breakfast seasoning blend that will be coming out soon. It's delicious. Goes great on sandwiches, bread, bagels, eggs, pretty much anything you can think of. And it'll probably be out sometime next month. But this breakfast looks delicious. So let's eat. So if you watched my last video, you'll recognize the spot I'm at because I stayed here another night. And in that video, I talked about how the mud was all caked up on both of my tires. This one, you almost can't even see the tread anymore. because of how much mud got on it. And the road coming up here really wasn't too bad, but it was just bad enough to where I almost slid off the side of the road a couple times. And I was talking about in my last video how I was worried about driving back down. It's been a day and a half with no rain. Luckily it held off, so the road is completely dry. We should be able to make it out of here fine. And don't get me wrong, I do love camping in the desert spots, but there's just something about the life up in these mountain areas that's just so peaceful. Heard birds chirping all morning. Flowers, everything is green. The landscape is beautiful, and it just feels a lot more, I don't know, I guess calming than being in the desert. These breakfast potatoes are so good. And the key to good breakfast potatoes is once you put them in the pan, you don't move them for at least 5 or 6 minutes so that one of the sides gets this nice crispy golden brown on it and tastes delicious. But I'm gonna finish this up real quick and then we're hitting the road. All right, it is time to pack up camp and hit the road. Also, I recently figured out this new feature with my Starlink, and I can go into the settings and slide this little bar that says slide to stow, which I didn't know about last time. I just stuffed it in the back of the van. And if you look at it, it's kind of at a weird awkward angle, so like it has that pole jutting out from the bottom, so it's hard to stow it anywhere. But if I slide this, it should make it easier to stow when I go to break it down. So it just kind of angles it a little better. But yeah, anyways, thought that was pretty cool. Oh, nice, it was easy this time. All right, let's get out of here. So today on our journey towards Alaska, we are driving north, obviously, up towards Great Falls, Montana. And since we're here and it's on our way, we're also gonna drive through Yellowstone National Park, which was one of the first national parks I've ever been to. So we'll drive by a couple spots and check out some of the coolest things that I saw when I was there. And I haven't been back there in probably 2 years, so it's been a long time. Ugh. So yeah, some of the sections of this road were definitely a lot better than others when it was muddy. This section wasn't too bad. It was a little bit slippery climbing up the hill, but as long as I stayed moving, I was fine. When we get down to it, I'll show you the one spot down here that was like extra slippery when I came up. And my fridge just flew open yet again. I truly don't know why it keeps happening over and over again while I'm driving, but it is quite possibly the most annoying thing in the world. Especially when I'm on a highway and I can't turn around to fix it. But anyways, the mud pit section of this road was right up here, right around this corner. So I was trying to keep constant speed coming through it. You can see it's a little bit deeper ruts, but I was trying to keep a constant speed coming through it. So I kind of went through it a little bit faster than I should so I wouldn't get stuck. And my wheels just started spinning. I thought I was gonna go flying off the edge of this bank here, but luckily we didn't. The Tetons are absolutely stunning. Honestly, some of the most breathtaking mountains that I've ever seen. And funny thing, Teton means tit in French. And that's where the mountains got their name, Grand Teton. Although I have heard that the lesser visited Sawtooth Mountains, I think they're in Idaho, are comparable, and I've heard some people even say they're better than the Tetons. And I love being on these back roads because every time you drive by someone, they always wave. And I'm really hoping these bumpy dirt roads kind of clean off the mud from my tires, so I don't have to do it myself. And honestly, driving up these kind of dirt roads when they were muddy like I did when I first got here was probably not the smartest decision I've ever made, because if I got stuck, that would have really sucked. When I came here with the intention of taking one of these spots down here, but all of them were full, and some of them, which I'm not sure about the idea of doing this, but it seems like, at least, when they pull into spots like this, I'm also pulling in here because there's a bathroom down here and I gotta go to the bathroom. But it seems like a lot of people that come to these spots and are camping just kind of pull up here. They come here, pop a tent, claim the spot, leave, and then come back later so no one else can take that spot while they're gone. But I guess it's kind of smart. Much better. Honestly though, those pit toilets really aren't too bad when they're built right and they're cleaned out regularly and it's not too hot out, because the way that they're built, it sucks air from the toilet out the back, so you never really smell anything. And I've only ever been in a few where it actually smelled bad. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll get a tent so I can just leave it in spots and go into town and come back and have my spot saved. But we got about a 2-hour drive up to our first stop in Yellowstone, so let's hit the road. and we have made it. So once you pass the entrance sign to come into the park, it's about another 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes even more, depending on where you're going, until you actually get to the first spot. And I just kind of skipped over Old Faithful just because I've already been here, I've seen it, and in my opinion, it was kind of underwhelming. Other people might think different. If you do come here and it sounds interesting, definitely go see it. And the park is extremely crowded today as well, so hopefully we're gonna be able to find some parking. And a few minutes ago, I was sitting in traffic, and all of a sudden some guy comes up to my window, and he's like, "Are you Ryan Toomey?" He's like, "I saw your plates, I didn't know if it was you." And he introduced himself. He said he filmed some YouTube videos. He's actually right behind me in that white van. And he asked if he could follow me to the first spot that I'm heading to take a picture. So now he is following me there, and we are heading to the Grand Prismatic Spring, which in my opinion is one of the coolest things in the park. It's just this gigantic rainbow colored hot spring, and I just really want to go see it again. There's so much traffic. There's so many people here, and there is no parking. All right, so we got a bit lucky, and someone was pulling out right as we were pulling in, and we kind of snagged the spots. But we're gonna wait here because he wasn't able to find a spot, so we had to drive past. But while we wait, I'm gonna make some lunch. Oh, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
What was your name again?
Daniel.
Daniel?
Nice to meet
You
you.
already know mine, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I've been watching your YouTube videos for. But
yeah, he's got the same setup that I do.
Yeah, I copied it off Ryan. So.
Yeah. So this is Daniel. He also lives in his van. I don't know where he parked it, but
oh, there was no parking.
Yeah.
You got lucky with that one.
Well,
yeah. So I just I saw the van. I was like, hey, that looks like Ryan's van. It's like the Great ProMaster. He's got the 2 fans on top.
Yeah, there you go. How tall are you?
6'2".
Okay.
So
yeah, so you're like
6'1.5". I don't want to lie to people on camera. So.
And what is your channel? Because I'll give you a shout out in the video.
It's just my name. It's Daniel Begg. B-E-G-G. Yeah.
Daniel B-E-G-G.
Yep, you got it.
Go follow Daniel Begg. He posts
Awesome.
YouTube videos as well. He lives in a van. I think it's a Mercedes?
It's a Sprinter, yeah.
Yeah. But he's still building it out. I think he said he was, partially?
It's like halfway done.
So he just stepped out because he's going to set up his camera. He wanted to get a picture. And then after that, we're going to go check out the spring.
That's kind of long. It's like 10 seconds.
No, I always do that too. He was a really nice guy. If you like van life YouTube, go check him out. So this is actually the world's largest hot spring, and I think it's right next to the world's largest geyser, but I think that geyser is dormant. So this is where the hot water from those pools up there kind of comes down and flows into the river, and that orangish coloring is from the minerals in the water. And this one right here is actually the geyser, or at least the crater of the geyser. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to see the spring very well because of all the mist. It does look a lot cooler from aerial perspective, so maybe I'll put an overlay of a video or a picture of it so you can get a better idea of exactly what we're looking at, because it truly is so cool. Up on that hill, that's where that other viewpoint is. It's just one of the most colorful, alien looking things I've ever seen. Look who it is. It's Daniel again.
Oh, hey.
Taking pictures. How's it going?
Everything you want to do is out there. We just passed through because we were moving, so we don't have time.
All right, so I just walked back with Daniel. He just left to go back to his van. I think now I'm gonna go check out some of my other favorite spots in the park. The next one is actually my favorite spot that I've pretty much ever been to in my van. It just looks like it's not real. It's the craziest looking landscape ever. And then after we're finished here, we're not staying in the park tonight. One, because you're not allowed to stealth camp in the park anywhere. It's not allowed, and I don't want to promote doing things that are explicitly not allowed. We're gonna drive out of the park from the northern entrance, and we're gonna go to camp out at a rest stop, which is something I actually haven't done in a while. down on the other side of Yellowstone on the northern end up in Montana. We kind of just did a quick pit stop and saw all the spots that I went to when I first started living in a van, because this was my first major stop. I think I said that already, but we've officially made it to the last state in the lower 48 that we're gonna be in before we cross over to Canada. I expect to do that within about a week. I'm gonna spend some time in Montana checking out some stuff, going to see places that I haven't seen yet, but we've got about a 20-minute drive down this beautiful road to a rest stop where we're going to be sleeping tonight. So we had a beautiful campsite last night. It's getting too late and I don't feel like driving down a bunch of back dirt roads again, so we're just gonna pull off the highway, get a quick spot to sleep, cook something easy for dinner, and wake up. We're hitting the road again. Oh, what a spot. Right on the river. Beautiful rest area. Definitely not a bad spot to have to spend a night. Nice. Whew. Can't believe this is a rest stop. Almost feels like a campground or something. Bunch of little picnic tables up here too. We'll probably have breakfast tomorrow. So according to this map, we are right here, just kind of south of Bozeman. And the route we're taking up to Canada, we're kind of going up here through Helena, Great Falls, and then all the way up here to the port of Sweetgrass. So this is going to be the route we're going to be taking over the next few days. I'm pretty excited. It'll be my second time in Canada. First time was actually in Quebec on a 8th grade French field trip. So I guess it'll be the first time by myself. But yeah, I mean, these views at this rest stop, spectacular. So it's been kind of a long day, so I think tonight for dinner, we're gonna keep it pretty simple. And I'm gonna do like a Korean barbecue chicken and rice. Unless my chicken is frozen, which it is. So never mind. But I will pull it out to let it thaw so that I have a meal for another day. All of my meat is frozen. And honestly, I think I do, some frozen shrimp up here. And these thaw out pretty quickly. So I think I might just make some Korean barbecue shrimp and rice. Also, I just realized, if you're wondering why I changed my hoodie randomly between getting into the van and cooking, it's because I took my thumbnail picture and the black hoodie that I was wearing didn't contrast against the black wall here enough, so I put on my white hoodie. So yeah. Also, these are my merch hoodies, so if you like the way it looks, the website is linked in my description. You can pick up a hoodie, you can pick up a t-shirt, I have stickers, and I'm coming out with a breakfast seasoning blend too there soon. So go check it out. It's a topographic map of Ryan Mountain, and Joshua Tree is the same topographic map that I have on the back wall of my van, if you see on the back of my cabinet when I open my doors. So yeah, there we go. Shameless merch plug. We'll hit these with some fresh red peppers, not too much. A little bit of gochujang, and then some Korean barbecue marinade. Get that all mixed together. Add in the rice. I think that's all I'm doing for dinner tonight. All right, rice is done. And also, I was craving a soda because I have an addiction to carbonated things. But there wasn't any vending machines at this rest stop. But then I remembered I have a soda stream that I always figured I have and forget to use. So I'm gonna make my own soda. I actually keep my soda stream in this cabinet, which I never really open, but it has all my stickers and some hoodies and towels and random stuff that I never really use. Just like that, homemade soda. Squirt some Mio in there. And that's some black cherry soda. Delicious. So, I have been kind of reading this milepost book a lot. And I've been kind of reading through here, thumbing through it, just like reading a bunch of the information about all of the roads. I read about the Dalton Highway because I'm actually pretty scared about driving that, especially with all the snow melt and how muddy it's going to be. Definitely makes me a little bit nervous, but there's a ton of really good information in this book, and a bunch of people recommended this to me for my trip, and also I found it a bunch online recommended that if you're doing a trip up to Alaska, specifically the Dalton Highway, you should get one of these books because it is a great tool to have when you're up there without any service, to plan, see where you're going to go, and just like figure out your route. I actually kind of like camping at these kind of rest stops because, one, you're allowed to, so I don't feel stressed out about stealth camping and getting caught or getting kicked out in the middle of the night. And two, they usually have a bathroom. They're really close to the interstate. They're super easy to get out to. And it's just nice some nights to have like a stress-free pull in, pull out camp where I can just relax. Don't have to worry about driving up any dirt roads or anything like that. And it's just really easy. And this one just so happens to be really beautiful. I think I'm gonna finish eating. It is already 8:15. And then probably clean up the van a little bit, get some work done, and go to bed. So I think that's it for this video. I'm super excited for the rest of this road trip up through Canada and to Alaska. If you like this channel, you like this video, think about subscribing. It really does help out. And I will catch you guys next time.